Yes. Nice. Hey everyone.
Oh, quality's pretty good.
Yeah, right? I'm also
Like,
surprised.
this is like new standard for me.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
I just
insane.
said my name is Calder.
Oh,
For now.
damn. Uh-oh.
My
Are you
new name.
Calder? Do you want to be Calder the stream?
Oh, really?
I don't know.
Does anybody want?
Let's be open then.
Okay, hello everybody. Welcome to the live stream. It's another Friday. So it means live stream time. It's every Friday, except for one Friday per 2 weeks is live stream time.
And you
So
know
that's where
today
we're
is going to be a fun one, right? I mean, if it's me and Jeroen, then
Yes, exactly.
it's only fun stuff
So,
here.
so how's everybody in chat doing?
Well, the
What are
question
you guys
is,
up to?
how are you doing, Jeroen?
I'm doing good. I think. Yeah, doing pretty good. Been working. I've been very focused. I've been very focused on the full programmability update and like really drain into it. And I could tell. So yesterday night I was like, oh shit, there's also other things I need to do, like some shipping stuff, and so I did that. So I did that all this morning, and it's nice to just take a step back and then, yeah, because when you work on code, you can get so sucked into it.
True.
And yeah, just taking a step back and work up some things from the to-do list, let's say. Trying to balance that in a way. What about you?
Well, I don't know. I can't complain. This week was more for me. It was a wrist rest week.
Oh yeah, wrist rest.
Yeah, that's also something we're gonna talk about in this stream, and
Yeah.
we're gonna have a sneak peek of the new remapping function.
Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah.
This is MacBook webcam. No, this is actually this is my me and Eric have the same webcam. We both have the Logitech. What is it called again? 970 or something?
920?
Something.
920? C920? I don't know.
Yeah.
It's pretty decent webcam.
Yes. No. I because the stupid AirPods, when you talk, when you are on a call, the battery drains like crazy. So it's like you talk with one ear in and then you charge the other one. That's the strategy. It's just very silly. It's like the most stupid best product ever, I think.
Most stupid best product. Yeah. No, we don't have any new Wood toys. No, we didn't dabble in that adult toy world here. That's only something we can discuss and call this here. This is now a PG-6 live stream.
Yeah. This is kid friendly content.
Kid friendly content. Makes it even worse. Yeah. So well, let's kick it off with the wrist rest.
Wrist rest.
Wrist.
I don't
rest.
even.
You don't even have one. You cannot wiggle it. Just always have one at hand.
Cool. Oh, packaging. Did we show the packaging already?
I don't think we. Maybe we showed it. Ooh. We're just gonna do the whole live stream. This it's kind of mesmerizing. And we tried to get it synced.
Yeah. I'm looking.
Nice. That's it's pretty flexible. It's yeah, it's great. You can bend it, twist it, and it will never lose its shape. It's so durable.
I cannot wait. Cannot wait for it to come in.
Yes.
So what's the latest shipping status?
That's kind of drama. So a part of them went by plane, and a part of them went overseas. Because we wanted to get it over plane, a few of them, like a few hundred of them, so we can start selling them sooner. Because everybody's waiting for the wrist rests. The only thing is, we didn't get any shipping notification. We know it left China, like last Friday or something. And we would have expected to get an update somewhere in this week. The only problem is like we cannot contact the Chinese sender because of Chinese New Year, right? So now they're closed.
Right.
So it's just waiting until they get like through the customs, and then we get a notification. And we expected it to happen somewhere this week, but now we're guessing it will happen somewhere early next week. So they're probably now somewhere waiting on an airfield somewhere in the Netherlands, and well, as soon as they're scanned or tagged, then we will get them, and then we have them in stock.
Because what I understood, like until they pass customs here in the Netherlands, we don't receive a tracking update, right?
Yeah.
Like it's just like, oh, we just know it left China, and then as soon as like pass through in the Netherlands, and all of a sudden you get like the notification, and then we can have it in house the next day.
Yeah, true. Then it goes really fast. And as soon as we have it in house, we open up the sales channels, and then everybody can purchase it. And in the US, I think it's kind of a similar thing.
Yeah.
I'm not sure about US. Maybe they arrived, maybe they didn't.
I think we should receive,
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, but it's always with, customs. It's always like a gamble. Sometimes it goes fast, sometimes it goes slow. You never know.
Yeah.
But it will happen very soon.
Okay.
Probably.
What is it made of? It's made out of silicone.
Silicone.
But then silicone in a pretty hard, not necessarily hard grade, but then more sturdy grade. So you can see. Let me see if I can get this on the screen. That's my camera. Oh yeah. Okay, so you can see that you're able to push it in a little bit, but not too far. So it's very light. So it's pretty, like, it has a good comfort for your hands, but then it's not too hard like a wood or something. It's more like it's just a little bit soft. That's what we aim for.
It's a nice mix between comfort and soft feeling and still being firm.
Yes.
And another thing I noticed, and I'm just only going to brag about the wrist rest this whole live stream, but it also has a very nice temperature control, because when you use it, it doesn't get any warmer, and it won't become any cooler, so it stays at room temperature, which is really comfortable, and it even holds its temperature even for long sessions.
Yeah. So you don't get like super sweaty hands.
True.
Like you would get with cloth.
Yeah, and it's even like I can wiggle my whole desk by just touching the wrist rest a little bit, so it's also very sturdy on your desk.
That's interesting because I think on Instagram somebody commented like, "Oh, does it have magnets inside?" And it's just like there's really no need. Like it's so sturdy on your desk.
Yeah.
And also when you don't have the magnets, at least you can place it a little bit. Like let's say you want to twist it a little bit, or a little bit further away, or a little bit closer. Now, because with magnets you're limited to one position. It's just like, oh, you click it there, and then that's kind of stuck there. But then with this, it's just that you can just adjust it a little bit to your preference.
Cleaning wise, it's also a very nice product. I mean, you can just use alcohol or alcohol wipes to deep clean it, or you can run it under the sink like tap water and clean it that way. The only thing you should avoid is like high acid things, and not that it will per se ruin the whole silicone part, but it's like a fine coating over it that is made for durability and longevity, and that's also where the softness comes from, the soft touch feeling, and that coating you can ruin with acids.
It looks like. Is there any chance? Sabinian Justice asks, is there any chance to have it shipped in the same shipping as the lacquer keyboard? Like pay now, have it shipped later.
Sure.
That's a good question, Eric. You were working on the shipping details earlier.
Yes.
Is there a conclusion already? Like maybe tell everybody how it works with the shipping and with the discount, and how you can combine it with lacquer keyboards.
Okay. Let's.
Just give me your introduction, okay?
Let's start at the beginning. So I will answer your question there, but it will take time for me to build it up completely. So it will launch somewhere within the next 2 weeks. That's our assumption. So as soon as we receive it, we put out a web store, spam on social medias, send out emails to everyone, and everybody can purchase it. What we're going to do for everybody who ordered a Wooting keyboard, or who owns a Wooting keyboard, they get like a 10% discount as a sort of gift. I know it doesn't seem like much, but it's something we want to give to the people. And the prices of the wrist vests are €28 or dollars for the 10 kilos, and €30 or dollars for the full-size wrist rest.
Okay.
So if you own a Wooting keyboard, you get a 10% discount the first, I don't know, week or 2 weeks when we launch it. And after that, it's just like the normal price. If you buy in a combination with a keyboard, you also get like a 10% discount. So let's say you want to buy a Wooting keyboard next month together with a wrist rest at the same time, you get like a 10% discount. And for the people who purchase the Lekker edition, or purchase Lekker edition also want to have like the discount, they can use it, and then you sort of have the option to ship it together with your Lekker edition, and then you don't pay extra for shipping. But if you want to have it in your house sooner than the Lekker edition launches, then you have to pay for the shipping, and that's it. So it's whatever you want it to be.
Like,
wow.
I was trying to show it in the meantime, but then it's pretty hard to balance the camera and stuff.
Okay, let me answer this question real quick. Are you planning wireless keyboard with Lekker switches? We don't have any plans for wireless keyboards at the moment. Like a wireless keyboard has its own unique challenges that is for us a bit difficult to overcome, like with customs, batteries inside and build and whatever. But it's something we will probably explore in the future when it also gets more popular, like the whole wireless things. And it's something we still have to look into, but we're not actually working on any wireless keyboard with Lekker switches. How did the showcase went, Jeroen?
It was okay. I think it was a little shaky. So question about okay, so you're saying 28 for the 10 kilos?
Yes.
30 for the full size?
Yes.
And then if you have a Wooting keyboard, you get 10% discount?
Yes.
And if you have a Lekker pre-order, how about that?
The same. You also get a 10% discount.
And then I think you can choose if you want to have it shipped right away, or have it shipped together with the Lekker keyboard, right?
Yes. So if you want to ship together with the Lekker keyboard, then it's fine, and you only pay like the what is it then, €30 minus the 10% is €27, and then you get it together. But if you can't wait and you want the wrist rest sooner, that's also fine. But then you have to pay for the shipping of the wrist rest, and that's, I think, that's in the Netherlands like €5 to €6, and somewhere in Germany it can be €7 to €8. Yeah.
Okay.
Can you order 3 with a 10% discount? Sure, Quinn. Sure. I mean, you can buy as many as you like with 10% discount, because you have a lot of keyboards. So the thing what we're going to do the first week or 2 weeks, I forgot it was like 1 or 2 weeks. Everybody who owns a Wooting keyboard will get a special discount code, and you can just use that to get a discount on the wrist rest. And I think even if you order 3 or 6, you get 10% discount. But let's say when you want to order 10 keyboards, then you can message me, and we can probably give you even more discount.
Yeah.
It's like buy 10, get 1 for free. That's like 10% discount, right?
Happy New Year, Cypher.
Happy New Year. And if you think about it, the wrist rest is also full analog, right? There's no electronic components. It's like real analog to the core.
Analog.
You cannot go more analog than this.
No.
Yeah.
This is full analog. Will the discount stack, or will the highest discount be valid? It's just 10% per wrist rest, I think.
Yeah. Let me think other more. So we also sometimes have like a 5% discount here and there, depending if you subscribe to the newsletter, I guess. And I think, let's say then the 10% discount is better than the 5% discount, that's for sure. But I think if you buy a keyboard, we sort of have a automatic rule in our system. If you buy a keyboard and a wrist rest together, you get a 10% discount on the wrist rest. And probably if you put a 5% discount code, you get even more discount. So that's even more good for you.
Yeah.
You could probably stack them. Just try to stack them and see how far you can come, right?
Yeah, I'm not really sure how it will work.
The thing with the Wooting logo, right? I mean, it doesn't matter if you mirror it or not. It always stays the same. That's what we had in mind for the original logo. So you always have like a nice Wooting tattoo. Or the Cairo hexagonal tiling pattern if you want.
Wait, so what? The Wooting slapper for tattoos? So you slap somebody with this and then it leaves the Wooting imprint? That's the idea?
Yeah. Oh, that's pretty hardcore.
I don't think that works like that.
I think it works because probably everything will become red except for where the Wooting logo is. I don't think you want to try it because you can really hurt someone.
Yeah, it's it's not a good idea.
No.
Does it have the lettering? No, it just has the logo.
Yeah.
Will only, Frederick Waldemar asks, will it only be in black and blue colors, the wrist vest? So yeah, there will be 2 versions.
Yes.
Just what is it called?
Let me show some pictures.
Show
okay, so here just some pictures we made. Here's like
if you share the indent of the Wooting logo, you'll get an extra discount. Yes, you get extra discount.
Yeah.
Depends. So the discount amount depends on the body shape you show, or the body part you show the logo.
Yeah, I mean, sure, you want to, how would you say it? Mutilate yourself for a bit more discount on a $30 product? That's kind of hardcore, but you do you, right?
It's worth it.
It's worth it. Wait, does this work like this? It's just like a nice top view of the keyboard. As you can see, like it fits this is just the Wooting 1 example, but the same fit goes for the Wooting 2. This is the bottom. Here's the blue one, the dark blue one. Here's the black one, another blue one. It's like, it's actually pretty, the picture's actually pretty boring. I mean, if you just look at it, but the product itself, it's so fun to play with and fiddle around with, and yeah. I think that's a comparison. Let me see. Whoop. So here are both the colors, depending on the light. It's so yeah. The dark blue one fits the Wooting 2 Lacquer Edition more, and the black one fits your original Wooting keyboard. But pick whatever color you like.
Yeah, feel free to play around. Make your desk more colorful. Not everything black.
And the thing is, I don't think in the beginning we will actively promote it, but it's just besides combining it with a Wooting keyboard, it's just a nice wrist rest in general. It's also nice to use with other keyboards. I mean, it's not so nice to use it with a G15 because the G15 is like a really weird curve at the front. But let's say you have a crappy keyboard like the Cooler Master MK851. I mean, sure, you can use the wrist rest, right? No, just kidding. No, but the wrist rest works with almost any keyboard.
Yeah. Is it too hard? How do I lower pressure from the Wooperator? You just smack a little softer. It's manual adjustment.
Yes, you just have to get used to the spank.
If you're Wooting 2, you need the lacquer version because the black one is for the original Wooting one.
No. So the black.
So you have 4 versions. You have Wooting 1 black, Wooting 1 blue, Wooting 2 black, Wooting 2 blue.
So we have both sizes and both colors.
Yes.
And I think the fun part is maybe in the future when we sort of sold out this whole stock, maybe we can even explore more colors because in theory you can make any color of the rainbow, right? With silicone, and it's not even too difficult to achieve.
No. Yeah, it's just a matter of mixing. I think the main challenge is just if you have a color in mind that you get the color right.
Yeah.
That's
What's this?
The texture same as it is in personal massaging equipment? Yes and no. I mean, the feeling of the silicone. So with this one, there's a certain coating on the silicone. So I'm not sure if they also use that in the personal massaging equipment, if they use the exact same one. But we did kind of choose it based on what we feel is right for moving your wrist on it, for having your wrist comfortably on it. Yeah. So the feeling you get is mainly decided by the sort of layer of coating that's on it.
True.
Yeah.
And like any Wooting thing, you have like a 14 days return policy. So if you don't like it, you just send it back, and then we have more wrist rest.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty neat. And also the durability. for starters, we just gave a 2-year warranty because that's sort of the default factor. But I'm also convinced that this product will last way longer than 2 years. That we can even say like, oh, you have a 10-year warranty and everything will still be fine. The only the only thing that can really damage the wrist rest or the top coating is acid fluids, like fluids with high acid, or I don't know, gases with high acids. I don't know whatever you do, and don't put it in a freezer or an oven. Even though you could put this in a freezer and an oven, it will affect the top coating, and that will
not put it in the freezer. But how will I make my Wooting, my Cairo shaped ice cube?
I mean, sure, it's medical grade silicone. I'm not sure if the top coating or the coating that's over it, it's like very medical grade. So I wouldn't eat out of it anyway or use these ice cubes. But it's fun to make ice cubes with it. But I wouldn't recommend it because it will ruin the top coating. And the thing what will happen then is that the silicone will get sticky a little bit. And then it isn't like soft to the touch anymore. And does it scratch easily? No, I mean...
No. So when you first imprint, you can kind of see a little bit, but then when you just move over with your finger, it's already gone.
You can rub it away, yeah. Rub it away. No.
I feel like it was not clear at all when I showed it. Is it? I think I've zoomed in a little bit, so am I? Oh, you can. Yeah, of course, it's only small. Is it up on the store yet? No, not yet.
No.
So
it will come within 2 weeks.
Like you said at the start of the stream, will come within 2 weeks. Yes. We're just waiting for the plane to land in Holland, and it's for it to clear customs. Yeah.
Oh, and there are like 2 things. First off is when you first open it, it will probably have a certain smell to it, like a really chemical smell. And even though in the factory we let them to dry for a while, these wristbands that are being produced, you can probably still smell it. But in my own experience, the smell wears off in like 1 or 2 days. But in the beginning, when you want to open, it's like, whoa, and I think it's the smell you either love or hate. So sorry for that in advance. And another thing that I sort of don't like is that it's get dusty really fast. But maybe it's just my environment here because I've got a lot of dust here. But then again, it's easy to clean, so it's
yeah.
I mean, if you really like the fresh silicone smell, then this wristband is for you, and you will probably sniff it all day long. But the smell wears off pretty quickly. So enjoy while it lasts. Or if you want, you can subscribe and get a wristband every week for only $60 a month. Oh, that would be sick. That would be sick, right?
Good deal. That's a great deal.
Or what you can do is like cut it up in little pieces and just take out a little piece every day, and you can have the fresh smell again.
Whoa.
Yeah.
So what you're saying is completely destroy the coating before making ice cubes.
Well, what I'm saying, don't make ice cubes with it because that.
Don't make ice cubes.
Please
don't do it.
Just know that it's like a fun idea to do, but try to resist the urge to make ice cubes, or even like little Cairo-shaped cupcakes. I mean, you could technically do it.
Just don't eat them.
No. But you can do so much fun with this pattern, to be honest. You can even use it for like clay stuff, or like plaster stuff. Like put plaster in it, and then or chips, whatever. It's we can explore so many. Oh, I know.
Have you tried making ice cubes? No.
Oh, okay. I've got the best idea, Hoon, right? So you just bought a new house, right? And your walls are horrible. So what you're gonna do is like stucador the whole walls and plaster it, and then you go with the wrist rest over it, and your whole wall is like a nice Cairo pattern. That's a great idea, right? Or you or use the other side, and then your whole house will be a Wooting pattern.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
So much fun.
I think my wife will love having the Wooting pattern all over the house. Stucador.
Yeah, so that's sort of it for the wristbands. I think I've summed it up all. So the thing is, we will launch it somewhere within the next 2 weeks.
Wooting pillow. Oh, that would be nice. That should be the prize for the next year's end of the year quiz. Instead of the socks, we'll have Wooting pillow.
It's actually not bad as a pillow, the wrist rest, to be honest.
Yeah.
Okay. So we'll launch somewhere in the next 2 weeks. We're not certain when it will happen, but it will probably happen before the next live stream.
Yeah.
So the next live stream, we can, instead of clap, we can slap when we start. Everyone at home.
Skatable says, I'm planning to get a Wooting too. Do it.
Do it. Yes.
If you wait about if you can wait a little bit longer, then you can get it together with the wrist rest we just showed.
Yes. Okay. Okay. So
I forgot. Oh yeah. Okay. So this is the wrist rest, right?
Yeah.
Just want to summarize. Come in within 2 weeks. 10 kilos version. We'll have a midnight blue version and a black version. 10 kilos will be €28 or US dollar. Full size will be €30 or US dollar. And if you own a Wooting keyboard or have a Wooting Lekker pre-order, you can get a 10% discount.
Yes.
All right. That's it.
That's it. So keep an eye on your mailbox, social, Discord, and that's pretty cool.
Sounds good.
It's tailor-made for the Wooting keyboard, and it works on almost any keyboard too.
God, there's a body pillow.
We could make it as a surprise. You want it, Quinn?
Surprise! What a great surprise.
Just like we said last time, sounds really cheap for such a decent wrist rest. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think the main thing is we wanted for it to be in the same price category as other wrist rests, and then just be so much better. That was the goal.
Yeah. I have I think I have the glorious PC Master Race wrist rest here behind me in my magic cabinet. But it's so funny. It's like, I think it's $25 or something, right? Maybe I should stop it here. I'm not gonna trash talk. No, it's not this kind of stream.
The Glorious, okay, let's just say Glorious right now makes better product than they used to. Just keep it at that.
Except for the wrist rest.
Their mouse is good. Their mouse is good.
Okay.
Yeah.
So now the thing where everybody's been waiting for.
Everybody's been waiting for.
So.
It's also a slapper. This is a major slapper.
Super slapper. So the last couple of weeks, Jeroen worked really hard at the remapping update for the Wootility. So it's like the full programmability where you can remap all the keys to whatever you like. And there were some challenges Jeroen had to overcome and optimize. And we're currently at a point where it, I would say, works.
Yeah.
But
it's functional.
It's functional, but the interface is kind of, how would you say it? Little, tiny bit buggy, maybe.
Yeah. It's still a developer interface.
It's still a developer interface, but
it needs a little Eric's sprinkle on top.
True, but almost all interactions are in there, and that's pretty neat. So, anything you want to say about it, Jeroen?
What I want to say about it. So I think we started talking again about it end of last year, because we finally had an idea like, oh, this is what we want full programmability to look like and feel like.
Mm-hmm.
And then we were kind of planning to do it earlier, like create it in November or December. But then I think we kind of noticed, we kind of got an issue with, well, November and December is just kind of crazy in general. That's what it boils down to, because you have all the holidays and also for sales, it's quite a lot. I think my stream is lagging. Is it just me? I guess it's just me.
I think it's just you.
Yeah, it always is. So end of the year has just been kind of nuts with the Black Friday, Christmas, and all that jazz. But then now in January, it's cooled down a little bit, which is very nice. So right now, I've just been able to spend the last 2 weeks just full on finally implementing the full programmability as we wanted. And I think it's best to just kind of go through it step by step and just kind of explain our thoughts along the way. Main thing is just yeah, it should just be nice and simple to use. That's always the goal.
Yeah, and it should be fun to interact with. Okay.
Yeah. We wanted it to feel like this sort of playground for your keys. That's what we aim for.
Okay, so this is the Wootility in the developer environment. I'm seeing that some keys are kind of whack. We lost some keys along the way.
We lost some keys along the way.
Okay, so the remapping part will be in the left sidebar in a whole separate window, and we thought we would mix it in with a whole separate window because there are some cool interactions you can do here, and because it can be so complicated, it's also nice to have its own separate space for it. So we sort of pull it away from the main Wootility, so to speak. And so bear with me, right? So the interface is kind of weird and the text is very big, but this is just a
space bar.
Yeah.
Spack
bar. So this is what we currently have, and the whole idea is here in the top. You can see the keyboard you have, whether it's a Wooting 1 or Wooting 2, with all its legends here installed. About the first and second layer, I'm going to talk in a little bit. This undo thing. Here underneath is like where we have all the characters that you can put on a keyboard. So we have like alpha characters, numbers, special characters like play, pause, whatever you can imagine, like calculator, even the more obscure Windows ones that you probably wouldn't use in a keyboard that often, but that are sort of default in the spec. We place them in here, and and then an overview with all the characters. Here on the right side we have a little storage component, and now putting it all together, right? So let's say you want to swap your what's like a common interaction, swap your control and caps lock. That's something that people do, right? And the cool thing is then you can here pick up the control key, drag it to the top, place it over the caps lock key, and then these two swap positions. So that's how you can easily change something on your keyboard between things. But let's say you want to use a special character like this little, I don't know, you want the volume down on your F1 key, and that doesn't work for some reason. Oh, here we go. And you want another volume down on your F2 key, and you want a mute key on your F3 part. That is kind of okay. So the cool thing is the whole interaction is that you can just drag and drop stuff on and off your keyboard. And let's say you're making like a whole sick layout and you're sort of afraid that you're gonna lose your shift key. Well, you can use your shift key and drag it in the storage compartment, and then it's sort of a special thing that you can customize for yourself, where you could put keys in there that you can leave there temporary or for longer periods of time. You can even overwrite them and just have your own storage thing, and then also drag them from here to your whole keyboard. And the cool thing is, like, you can customize any key the way you would like to do, and it's very playful and interesting to work with. Another thing is that you can just recently implemented is that you can use Control and Z to undo things, or use the undo key to undo bindings, and that's pretty cool. And you can go also back in the future where you have it. We will also.
I think what's cool about that is that, and also the save is also interactive. Yeah. Meaning that if there's no changes, you can also not press save to keyboard, which is something that was already feedback from how we previously had it, that people were not really sure, like, oh, I press the save button, did it actually work, do I have to press it now or don't? And with this, and it's also nice with the remapping that we were kind of able to isolate the remapping and then also try to add some sort of functions that we thought were missing in the keyboard part, let's say. And then just kind of experiment with them, and then if they work well, and if we kind of get a hang of them, how to implement them well, we can also feed them back into the other menu.
True. Yeah. And it's just really fun to play with, to move your keys around and see what happens. That's really fun. Okay. Another cool thing is that you can also access your second layer. And what is your second layer? So, for example, if you press your FN key, and let's say you press the Wooting key, you press the home key, your volume goes down, right? And those are actually mapped under your second layer. And now you can access your second layer, and you can even customize that. So you can have a special layer for, I don't know, programming, coding, or one layer for a throwback layout or a standard US ANSI layout. You can just really customize it, mix and match it, and use it in both layers, which is very cool in my opinion.
Yeah.
And then the last part of it all is that we will have certain presets that you can use, like throwback and some out of the box fun things. So if you don't want to customize your keyboard but just want to have a more common layout that wasn't possible on a Wooting keyboard anymore, you can just load this one in and install your keyboard, which is really cool. Yeah.
Okay, let's do some questions. Does the gentleman for Sarah ask, does the Wootility support have multiple keyboards plugged in at the same time, e.g. the Wooting, is it, do you pronounce E.G.? E.g. the Wooting 2 and Lekker? Right now it doesn't, no. I'm not sure. We should be able to add it, but then it feels like the first thought I have is that it's probably not worth it, because like how many times do you want to be able to configure 2 keyboards at once? But of course it will be cool to have, so I'll think about it. Why is it you have swap positions of scroll lock and pause break keys? That is because on the Wooting 1, the scroll lock is swapped out from mode key.
Yes.
And we kept it consistent with the Wooting 2. But now, with the full remapping, we can just swap it right back if you don't like it. Will you make ability to add different keys for different programs? Also, can I control volume on the keyboard? Different keys for different programs? Definitely not on the start. Probably not. I'm not sure. No, I don't think so. Need to think about it. Yeah. Control volume on the keyboard. Yes, definitely. Very easy. And now you can also just put I think there's a special button here you can probably show which just says volume down and volume up, and you can just put that either in the first layer, so you don't need to press any FN key or function toggle. That's your layer toggle key or your FN key. Or you can put it on your second layer, and then you can press F1 wherever you put it. F1 maybe, or the default. Where's the default? Page up.
Yeah, so it already comes default on the Wooting keyboard that you can manipulate your volume, but now you can place it anywhere you want on your keyboard, volume up and volume down. Even play pause and something, maybe mute microphone. I don't know if that's a thing.
No, mute microphone is not a thing. That's very stupid, because it requires some sort of software on your computer handling the microphone thing, because it's not like a default USB thing.
Okay, and
for some reason.
I can see we can put NQO disable on it.
Yeah, but I'm not sure if that one will be working.
Yeah.
That's let's just call that the developer version.
See. Volume.
I may have logged into the stream a little late. Tangame says, have you mentioned anything about third-party plugins? I would like to be able to call out a script without using obscure key combination. That's a good question. So you mean that you maybe can map a certain key which will launch a script, like maybe launch like a auto hotkey script or something like that? I'm not sure if there will be anything, if there is like a special key we can use. So I think what they sometimes use is you have your F1 to F12, but there's also support for F13 to F24, which will also add. So you can map those to a keyboard and then have that. Okay, that's what you're asking. Yeah. So you can, for example, map F13 and then use that as a toggle for your script, because that will not influence with anything else probably anyway. Is that a good solution? Let's see, where were we? I think this one I asked already with the volume. Access F keys. Oh yeah, I just got that. So F13 to F24, we will add it. We'll try to add as many things as we can, and as soon as we as we put in the alpha, we would also love to have you guys feedback on like what kind of keys you still want to have added, and yeah.
Yep.
So the all characters you see right now, that is not everything we are going to add. It's still work in progress. Yep. This is just what we have right now. So I think, the idea behind 2 keyboards was that I could use one for typing and the other is a lot. Yeah, that's a good idea. I think at one point we'll definitely add it, because like when we just started, you only have one keyboard, right? But now we have more keyboards, and even maybe people having two Wooting keyboards. So it definitely becomes relevant. And then especially when Eric is cool, especially when you want to use case like that. So yeah, no promise yet, but definitely something we're considering.
Yep.
Is analog customization the same as before? Yeah, DKS and analog customization is the same as before. We'll probably make some changes. We'll probably revisit some parts before the launch of the Lekker keyboard. Yeah, but I'm not sure about that yet. There's no, and I don't have a specific plan yet. Does this support multiple actions per key? Like, no, it doesn't. Not out of the box. If you want that, you need to have some sort of a macro program like AutoHotkey and map it to one of the keys, like F12, F13 to F24. That's a fine way to do it. Yeah, I already used some of those. Yeah, F13 to F24.
I think
SDK support for Wooting 2 is coming. The analog SDK is already fully supported, and RGB SDK is something that Simon is working on at this moment. Okay, was that all? Could it be possible that a key would go capital when pressed over 95%? That's already possible with DKS.
Yes. So what you could do is, let's say, go to DKS, and let's say you want to have the W key, and make sure that when you press it all the way down, it capitalizes. So what you can do is like use a W and a shift, and when it's down, it's like W shift, and that's it. So now when you press it all the way down, it gets a capital W, and then when you release it, it's a normal W again. Yeah,
there's just one tricky thing is when Windows, if you press the W key and then add the shift, it will not swap to.
Okay, well, then you do it like this, right? So bloop, bloop.
So it will work in a game where you have some sort of combination, but then for Windows typing in particular, it will not like change to. But that's a bit more like Windows. Yeah, I guess if you put it on and off, it will.
Well, if you do it like this, it should work, right? I mean, let's test it. I'm not sure if this is.
Man, the perspective on your own camera is freaking me out. He's looking up or down. There's the wall behind, but the wall behind me is very slow. Yes. Oh yeah, it changes. I think it's a few things where the wall behind me is very slow, and I'm also like sort of in front of the camera looking down. So I think that's yeah.
Caesar's pressed all the way down, it's like the big W, and when I only press it slightly, it's the small W. So it's a yeah, it's fun. Yeah. Hey, it saved it. Nice. Best layout ever. I think it's I'm really happy how the whole interaction is, and maybe it takes a little bit getting used to, but it has some logical things, like for example, if you take something out of the key area or character area and you drag it on your keyboard, it sort of copies it, and the same goes for the storage, right? Yeah. But let's say you want to remove a key from your keyboard, you can just drop it away from the keyboard and it disappears. Or you can store it back in your storage thing. And it's just really interesting to play with it, because I think over the last year, when we talked about full programmability and when we started working on it, we looked at all other software and tools that can already do these kind of things, right? And there isn't like a single thing that was really user friendly. Like most of them were, you could, I don't know, click a key on your keyboard and then a menu would open where you could find within a drop down the key you wanted. You had to scroll and search for it a lot, and and all the drag and drop solutions that were there, like there was one tool that's actually is sort of drag and drop. It's not really drag and drop, it's just like, you want to do activate a key, that you drop it away, and that's the whole drag and drop interaction they have. And I think at some point Jeroen came up with the idea of in the Netherlands we have like a letterboxes on preschool, right? Where you take some letters out and put them on a little rack and put them back in, and Jeroen thought of this idea that was like really fun to play with it and to build your whole layout that way. Like a blockados.
Like, blockados idea.
Like
and I think also, what really fits within that is that I feel like this is also more suited towards what you actually want to do with remapping, because you probably don't want to change your whole layout all the time. That's not what you want to do. What you want to do is you want to jump into the menu and then maybe like swap around 2 keys or move that one to that place, and that's it. That's probably what you're going to do, and that's what this way is just the fastest and the most easiest to do that particular action.
Yeah,
that's why I like this one.
And we give insane tools that you can, create your own layout you want, and that's pretty neat.
Yeah, and you can even search.
Yeah, the search. Since you go to Orca out, so you want to search everything that has to do with, I don't know, volume. Go volume, and then you see the volume. Needs volume down, volume up. Or you want to search numbers, or all the F keys. Yeah. We still need to add some sort of like interaction to the search, because exactly like maybe if you search for a number, you should show all the numbers or something. I'm not sure what will be like a cool way to do there. Or like you say like number and you see all the numbers.
So does the rebinding work when you hold Fn or so? Like keys are normal until you press Fn, then they're special custom bindings. So I think the way you initially, when we had the Fn key, it kind of feels like, oh, this key you use to activate your functions. But what it will now with the remapping change into is that this key is what you will use to change your whole layer, and whatever is activated with the Fn key is called your second layer. So if you have the brightness key, so right now if you have the Wooting one, or if you have the Wooting keyboard on your print screen, for example, you have the print screen, and then if you press F1, you have the brightness down. And how this will work is that, first layer is just your print screen, and with Fn you toggle to the second layer, and that will activate your brightness down.
Yeah.
And also, I think this was also a question before, we will also add a functionality that you can bind the function layer toggle, so that you will also always be in your second layer.
Yeah, that's
Are all the special characters available to be assigned keys? Yes, all of them, wherever you want.
All of them. If you want your whole keyboard to be I don't know, volume up or volume down, then
Oh wait.
Oh.
Are alt keys, I didn't read the first part. Alt keys supported, meaning that you can bind like a euro sign or something? I don't think so. No, I don't think so. No, I'm not sure. Unless it's like a special USB code. So basically we have a one-to-one mapping where every block is like either a specific USB code, so whatever is defined in the standard, or some custom functions like we have, like the mode key, analog profile switch, and the brightness. Those are some custom things. And then no, there will not be like a scripting functionality, because I feel like something like AutoHotkey already does that, and they do it a lot better.
Yeah.
And for us to also kind of implement our own system, it's a lot of effort, and it's probably not worth it, because I think not a lot of people actually use it, because the alternatives are already out there and they're already like so mature, let's say. And then we just come in here with another scripting system you need to learn. I don't know. Yeah, you cannot really access the Venki state. Yeah, that's true. That's true.
It's what Jeroen says, like giving access to scripting, it's really fun. But for us to create it, it's a lot of work, and probably only 1 or 2 users are actually going to use it for 2 times. Yeah. And then that's it. So it's not really worth the effort, even though it sounds really crude. It's just how it is. But yeah,
but I think the alt keys, that's something I need to look into, because it might be possible that there's a way to just standard do that. Because if there is a way, then we can just add it.
Yeah. Okay,
see you later, Skywolf. Get a Wooting too.
Get your Wooting too. Yeah. I mean, sure. Look into the alt key, Jeroen.
Yeah, I think that's interesting. And I think when it comes to the whole auto hotkey, so I guess what's missing in this, we have the keys, you can assign that can trigger auto hotkey scripts, right? But then there are some special functions we have on our keyboard. So it's one-way communication. There's no way back. So I think maybe if we figure out that part, then we already have a complete setup. Let's say. Oh yeah. Maybe yeah. Let me write it down.
So this was Jeroen's life the last 2 weeks.
Yes, basically.
Yeah. And some other fun stuff. Yeah, but I'm really. I think for every major update, I'm really excited for with the Wootility. Yeah, but this one's really a fun one. Even though I'm probably personally only going to use to swap around some certain keys.
Yeah, I think that's what most people do, and that's. But at least you have the option to do that. Yeah. For even if you only use it for a few keys, then I think it's already success, because there's so many times. Like also, and there's also some nice new things we can now easily add, wherein some people might want to have so the Windows key disable, for example, which is very let's say rigid right now, meaning you have the FN plus window keys and that's it. But now we can also have this sort of special function, which is like key disable, and then when you press that, then it can disable the key. Then it can disable that particular key. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
So you have your Windows key. Okay, so you have your key disable on the second layer, right? Mm-hmm. So you press FN plus the particular key, and then that key will be disabled on the first layer.
Yeah.
So which is basically how your Windows key works, but then you can actually just assign it, and then you can also use it for caps lock, where you can just do FN caps lock, and then it will disable the caps lock key.
Oh yeah, that's pretty neat.
Yeah.
Oh, disable the keys. That's actually pretty smart, though. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not sure how to like explain it, or how we can make it clear that it works that way.
I mean, in the most simple ways, it's just easy. Like, oh, you don't want to use the Windows key, you just put like, let's say, F16 somewhere underneath, and then bind it in a game where you want to use it. For example, that's really cool interaction.
Yeah.
And I think for maybe for Wooting 1 use, what the cool thing is now currently, if you want to swap profiles on your Wooting 1, you need to press function and the arrow keys. But now you could assign it to either one of the F keys or wherever you want on the keyboard.
Give me. I need to take this call because it might be for the order stuff.
Okay.
Give me 1 second. Okay.
Sure. Good luck. Okay, let's see. Any other questions? I want to turn my keyboard into emoji now. Yeah, I can imagine. I also want an emoji keyboard. The reason I really want to see macro supports natively is because I know quite a lot of people who would not touch something unfamiliar like it. Yeah, true. Okay. But I think macro support is a bit different than scripting support. And even though we personally aren't that big fans of macro support, because like Jeroen said, also for macros there are very strong tools out there that you can already use out of the box. Macros can be a feature we will implement in the future, because you can do some cool things with it. But probably a downside of it is that we probably cannot store everything on the keyboard. Like if you have really complex macros, then you need to have the Wootility run in the background to take over from the keyboard. And in some way, you can even set up really simple macros with DKS already, if you want. But yeah, macros could be something that happens in the future. The stream skips occasionally. Okay, still skipping. Hopefully it doesn't. Can you just change a single key instead of disabling it with FN plus the key? Can you just change a single key instead of disabling it? Yeah, sure you can. Maybe. Well, that's a very good question for Jeroen though. If you take his disable concept. Okay, Jeroen.
Give me 1 second. I need to just write this down.
Okay, sure. I'll get back to your question as soon as Jeroen has the time for it.
Okay, got it.
Okay, ready?
Yeah, ready.
Okay, can you just change a single key instead of disabling it with Fn and the key?
Like you change that.
So you swap them around.
Wait, I don't really know.
Because
I don't understand.
Well, you talked about disabling, right? Disabling a key with function and pressing a certain key. But could it be possible that you swap it out for a different key instead of disabling it?
Like you say, well, if I press this Fn key and then it will change to a different.
Yeah.
Like it will temporarily change. Like you can temporarily shift, swap control and caps lock or something.
Yeah.
I think that will be pretty hard to implement.
No, not possible.
No.
Impossible.
No. I'm not saying it's not possible. I'm just saying it will be pretty difficult. Yeah.
By supporting a 5-key sequence, you can print every weird sign with Alt-GR and the 4-digit code.
Wait, but then can you make it output say alt? I mean, you can just map the alt to the second layer, of course. Yeah.
But then you're still lacking all the numbers. I mean, let's say with DKS, if you add one more line to it, then you can probably make every code there if you want.
That's true.
But yeah.
Yeah.
It's not something that will happen soon, that's for sure. Yeah. So instead of disabling Windows key, can you make it output say Alt? Yes, that's the. No, wait. Well, you can swap them, but not actively on the keyboard using them. So you need to remap function and then remap the key from your Windows to Alt, or put it on a second layer. Yeah. How much storage on the Wootility anyway? It's really so small that macros can be too large if they get too complex. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
because macros can take up a quite of time and energy on the keyboard, and also the logic you need within the keyboard, and that all adds up to the storage thing. So that's why also most of the other keyboards out there, where you need to have the software running in the background to get like the full potential of the macros. Yeah. Well, I think that Alt-GR only supports ASCII key codes. I don't know. I'm not saying switching to keys. No. So you're saying like you want to disable the Windows key, but instead of disabling it, it turns to the Alt-GR. Yeah.
If you have a button action that's like toggle key enable or send extra messages, you could have an action switch layer and make more than 2 layers. Yeah, I mean, of course the interaction is possible to be made, but then the main problem is that every layer just adds memory, and the memory in the keyboard is limited. That's the main problem. Yeah.
But the Wootility edition does have this problem.
Wootility edition
you can
there's a lot
to every macro you desire, to every layer you want, and still have room left to put a little video on it.
Yeah, but I guess with the Wootility we can just add infinite layers, let's say.
Yeah. In theory, with the Wootility we could add infinite layers.
Yeah.
So maybe that's maybe that's something we can explore in the future. And then when you guys also want to have access to unlimited layers.
Have a good day, Dinglepop. Thanks for tuning in.
You just need to purchase a new keyboard with more memory in it. Yeah.
How much memory does the keyboard have right now? 2 kilobytes. Yeah.
And the Wootility has?
8 megabyte.
I think more.
8 megabyte.
I think it's more.
No, 8.
8?
I think it's 8 megabyte. So 4,000.
That's impossible.
4,000 times as much.
That's impossible what you're saying there, Jeroen. It has to be more. Oh, damn.
Technically, you could also store keys that are different and fall back to the main layer. Yes. Yeah, that's a very good point. I think when it comes to the memory, there's a lot of things we can do to make it smarter. It's just that dealing with in this case, like with your EEPROM or your persistent memory in your keyboard firmware is pretty difficult to get right. Yeah. So if it was like on your PC, it would be like pretty easy, but then in your keyboard, things get more difficult, especially when dealing with memory and memory layouts. It's very easy to override things or be one off or something like that, and then the consequences are not good. Not good. It's very hard to recover. Yeah.
Jeroen, I checked it. It's 16 megabytes.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, then it's
the website
8,000 times as much.
The website says 16 megabytes, so it must be true, right?
Yeah. Yeah. What about adding an option to have macros, but then it's that's the other option with this, which is that instead of the keyboard launching your macros, the Wootility will do so. It's not the preferred way, but it's possible. It's already something we added right now with we're experimenting with Chroma Connect that is in beta right now. So for the Chroma Connect to work, you also need to have there's also the Wootility running in the background, and maybe one day we can also build that into more like a macro kind of system. But then there's still a lot of hooks and eyes. I don't know how to say that in English.
Hooks and eyes. It's a nice translation. Like pitfalls.
Pitfalls.
Is that a vulgar?
Yeah, there's a lot of like tricky things there. 60 megabyte. We can store a song on there. Yeah, you can store MP3 files.
And bring it as a USB. That would be sick. Like a mass storage device. You could store one song, one decent picture. That's it. Yeah.
Is the remapping feature going to come on all Wooting models? No, only on the Lekker edition. I'm so sorry. No, of course. On all models. Always.
Okay, let's. It's time to trash some competitors, right?
No. It's time to close down soon.
No, but just as a final statement, like show that we are the good guys. Like all software updates we will are currently making and we will make in the future, they will always be compatible with the Wooting 1.
Oh, that's dangerous.
Wait. It will always be compatible as long as the hardware supports it and accepts it, and if it doesn't stress it too much or limit it too much. So let's say we have like a very cool new analog feature in the future, and it would work on all the Wooting models. Then sure, we will make sure it works on all the Wooting models.
There has to be a good reason. There has to be a good reason for not to support it.
Yeah, but like a simple software update, as let's say like new RGB effects that's only available in this new model, like that's like stupid if it's only like locked behind software, and that's something we despise.
Oh, that's so bad. Yeah. Just like with this remapping, right, where you can just say, oh, it's only for the Wooting too.
Yeah, I mean, if we were Corsair, this function would only be for the Wooting Lekker edition. Like now with like Elgato support with the newest keyboard, and it's only they have like Elgato macros, and it's like new software, but you can only use it on this model. That's kind of dumb. That's what we don't like here. No, should always be fair. Okay.
Yeah. No, but Quintus, I get what you mean with the macros, and I think it's, and I also understand, because I also wouldn't really feel comfortable like jumping or learning something new. I just wanted to work out of the box, but then it's just that the time it takes to do macros well, it's a tough trade-off, because I agree with you that for a lot of people, I think that the thing with macros is that personally, okay, how I remember macros is that I had a keyboard and I had macros, and I just used it to spam chat in Guild Wars. That's what I use macros for.
Yes, GG,
and I feel like
easy.
For most, like you had this sort of like, you had this sort of picture you could print on 10 lines, and that was the shit. But then I think for most use cases, just being able to remap and just being able to have 2 layers is sufficient. And that's, of course, it's a generalization and it's not true in all cases. But then I think the problem with macros is that it's kind of become a standard to have in a gaming keyboard, and where I think people will, if it doesn't have macros, it feels bad. Yeah, I think that's the problem. Where it's like, oh, does the macros it suck, even though you're not gonna maybe use it to its full potential anyway, because it is a cool thing to play around with. So it's a little bit, it's more, it runs deeper than what we might like, let's say, yeah, when we discuss it now. Like there's definitely a trade-off there, and I can also understand that it's tougher to convince people, because I've had the same conversation in the past with the distributor where he said, well, if I have this keyboard and it has this and this and this and this, and I have this keyboard and it has this and this and this, and then people will say, oh, this is macros, this is no macros, I'll choose them all macros, even though maybe, yeah, it's just the way it feels.
Yeah. Okay, last question. Is there going to be a 10 keyless lacquer model? There will be a 10 keyless model with lacquer switches, but it won't be a lacquer edition. So we'll include lacquer switches, but it won't be a lacquer edition. So the Wooting 2 lacquer edition is just a limited edition. And that's it. Yeah.
Yeah. And with the lacquer edition, specifically meaning the color layout, the special colors.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Well,
you appreciate the user experience more than useless features. Yeah, it's a trade-off, and I think there's no necessarily a wrong or right there. Yeah.
Expected
TKL lecture is long, in long.
Whoa, long fang. Better to buy a Wooting 2 lacquer edition now than to wait for the 10 keyless with lacquer switches.
Yeah.
But first of all, save your money. Be sure you save up at least 30 euros so you can buy the wrist rest for the next 2 weeks.
We should end with the wrist rest dance.
Yes, everybody can join the wrist rest dance. Well, thanks everyone for watching. If you haven't done it already, be sure to follow us on Twitch so we get 2k followers. We only have 1952 now. We need to have at least 2k.
Oh yeah, follow it.
So follow.
Follow.
Yeah, well,
follow.
Thanks
and
everyone.
Subscribe.
Yeah, subscribe and retweet and hey. Thanks everyone. Have a great weekend and see you in 2 weeks.
Have a good weekend.
Bye bye.